Hi, Anissa Coy here with Firehouse Education and this week's Ask Anissa video column. And this week, our question comes in from Bill in Michigan. And Bill asks, when dealing with a really difficult adjuster, I mean just really not a nice person, what would be the one big thing that you would tell someone in the industry that they could do to help handle such a person? Well, Bill, that's a very interesting question. And yes, unfortunately, we do come across sometimes adjusters out in the industry that are really difficult to work with, and sometimes that's putting it really mildly. So here's what I want to do. I'm going to ask you a question back, Bill. When people come to me or bring to me problems that they're having out in the field with an adjuster, one of the biggest things that I'll ask them is, how's your attitude? Now, that might seem kind of funny when the adjuster's the one that's being maybe difficult, maybe actually being completely uncooperative, and just really making a problem on this loss. But I'm still going to ask you, how's your attitude? You know, there's a saying, and I don't remember who said it, but it goes something like, it's not about what happens to you, it's about how you react to what happens to you. Well, you can also put that into play here. So let's say you're out on a loss and an adjuster is with you, or you're on the phone talking to the adjuster, it doesn't matter. And this adjuster is just absolutely being unreasonable. They're being cantankerous, they're being argumentative, they don't want to agree with the scope of work that needs to be done, this sort of thing. The first thing that happens as a restoration contractor is what? Kind of get our back up, right? And we think, well, we're the professional, we're the ones that know what we're doing, and we're the ones that, know what needs to be done right on this job, not you, Mr. Adjuster, who doesn't even understand construction or contents cleaning or whatever it is that you're doing on that claim. So what that does is that's going to come out in our body language, it's going to come out in our voice. So what I really want you to do is to take a step back when that's happening. Okay, and I really want you to I want you to have an attitude of gratitude, okay? Be grateful that you get to do what you do. Remember why you're doing this. Most of us in restoration are here to help people. It's why we got into this kind of work to begin with, okay? So remember that. Remember to have an attitude of gratitude towards your homeowner, the client who's hired you and brought you in to help them. They're in a desperate situation. They need your expertise. They need your confidence. And they need you to help them work with this adjuster to be able to get this job done the correct way so that they can get their lives put back together. If you really stop and think about it that way, you will completely change your demeanor. You will completely change how you are approaching this with the adjuster. And it can truly make all the difference in the world, I promise you. Look, I have had adjusters in the last year or two literally tell me I did not know what I was talking about. And as you know, I teach in the industry, I coach people, I've been doing this for 17 years. I do know a little bit about content cleaning. However, I could have really come at this person like, who do you think you are? And of course I do. And do you know who I am? And this sort of thing. But I didn't. What I did was I listened to the adjuster and figured out a medium happy ground that we could come to through negotiation so that I could do what I knew I needed to do on this claim to get the job handled properly and correctly for the homeowner. Now, it wasn't easy, I'm not going to lie. And is this adjuster my favorite? Not so much. I'm probably not his favorite either. But what happened was we were able to come together. The adjuster had a win, I had a win, and more importantly, the client had a win overall. So I really want you to think about when you're dealing with an adjuster out in the field. I don't care if it's not legitimate, if they're just not being a nice person, if they're being, cantankerous and just really not following the policies of the claim, this sort of thing. Sometimes you may have to step things up if an adjuster is like really on a level and get a supervisor involved. So I'm not saying put up with, I'm not saying put up with all behavior, okay? But what I'm saying is, the normal, difficult to work with adjusters, you really are going to have to learn how to bring the right attitude with you and to keep that attitude throughout the conversation and walkthrough and dealings with this adjuster. And remember that the ultimate goal, don't let this become an ego thing for you. The ultimate goal here is to get the homeowner back to pre-loss condition. So don't take it personal, but take it to heart and keep the attitude of gratitude involved, and it will help things and smooth things over when you're dealing with a difficult adjuster on a job. Okay? All right. Well, I hope that answered your question, Bill, and I hope that you found this valuable. Please don't forget to send me questions, Anise at firehouseeducation.com, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And I will see you on next week's video column.